then she's delusional.
Delusional?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Hello everybody, my name is Shibi Blue. So, after watching the worst movie of 2024, Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate,
Me is one of my favorite things in the whole wide...
and rewatching Rumble, which was only kinda good, I decided to watch a movie that was good from start to finish for my sanity if nothing else. So from disaster after disaster after disaster, yes this counts, Disney and Pixar finally had another hit with Inside Out 2. It was such a success that it actually became one of the highest grossing animated movies at the time, and even made its way to the Oscars this year. I mean, it didn't win the Oscars, but Disney only has themselves to blame for that. Now, a lot of people were worried about this movie when it was first announced, and it also doesn't help that all we're getting is pretty much only sequels, especially sequels we don't need!
When will it ever end?
Luckily, Inside Out 2 became the one to break the mold. It continues the ideas that can come from exploring a person's mind through our emotional characters.
Pun intended.
And the way it explores the process of new feelings, expectations, self-destructions, and even maturity. Now before we jump into the movie, let's talk about just how great Inside Out 2 is, and how this movie can be a good basis for not only new Disney movies, but also their sequels going forward. What I feel makes a great character is the emotional attachment you have to them, from when you see their story begin to when you see their story end. It's who they are that sticks with you for the rest of your life. When you feel like you can relate to these characters because they remind you of yourself, or you just like reliving the experience of their adventure because you think they're cool. It's these characters that are like the emotions in this movie who build who you are over time. And that's the thing that a lot of people believe that Disney's lost over the years. Can't say disagree. The movies that I've already referred to really lack the emotional weight you want to get from your protagonist, villain, or pretty much anyone else in the movie. And the ambition to create compelling characters can get lost within the ambition to make everything look as bright and colorful as possible, or tell some kind of message. Of course, coming from Disney and Pixar, you're guaranteed to get pretty pictures, but those alone can't carry a movie. But Inside Out 2 was not only able to continue the growth of the characters we already know and love, but it also thankfully doesn't devalue the old characters so that the new ones look better in comparison. In this movie, everyone is important. Everyone has a role to play, and nobody in this movie feels like they exist for a simple joke, or merchandise, or insert your reason for existing here. Every one of these characters matters to the story. Yes, I even feel minor tertiary characters like this are important. And because the story itself is a decent enough expansion on the world of Inside Out, Inside Out 2 was able to surpass movies like Frozen, The Avengers, and even Lion King 2019. Yeah, eat your heart out, Lion King remake, have fun ruining Simba's pride. But I think I've rambled on enough for now. Time to get into the actual movie. This is Inside Out 2. The movie begins with a beautiful piano score of the first movie, which, again, I'm obviously not going to play for you for copyright reasons, so just hope the workers in your head send them to HQ so you can hum the tune to yourself. We then once again meet our cast of emotions, joy, anger, fear, disgust, and sadness that reside in Riley's head.
Make some noise!
As Joy recounts all the events leading up to now, we also get introduced to Riley's new friends, Bree and Grace, and how upon meeting them, Riley gains something called the sense of self, which is a strong belief that someone has, in this case,
I'm a good person.
it's what allows Riley to make decisions for herself as opposed to having the emotions themselves decide everything for her all the time. Which I think is a great way to depict emotional maturity from a kid to a teenager. Because when you get older, your thought process becomes a little more rational. Although as we'll soon see, that rational thinking doesn't always lead to the best decisions. I'm living proof of that. So after winning the hockey game, Riley and her friends are invited to a hockey camp, which the emotions are ecstatic for, while suppressing any negative feelings Riley may have about it. But there is one thing they can't suppress though.
Problem solved.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
The next day, the emotions wake up to find Riley's a bit more moody than usual. And on their way to camp, they also get introduced to Riley's new emotions, including envy, embarrassment, ennui, and my favorite emotion, anxiety. Oh, and of course, how can I forget Disney's favorite emotion?
Nostalgia. You aren't supposed to be here yet.
Tell that to them! Now to go back to Riley for a minute, on the way to camp, Riley finds out that her friends are going to a different school. But before she has a breakdown, Riley meets one of the high school hockey players named Val Ortiz, who she has a great admiration for, though not too much admiration according to Disney. Luckily, Val is pretty cool, and even introduces Riley to her teammates. But this small interaction is happening at the same time as a major discourse between the emotions. While Joy wants to be a good friend to Bree and Grace and enjoy their time together, Anxiety says screw 'em, these girls got highlights, and literally rips out Riley's sense of self in order to take full control over her, as well as get rid of Joy and the OGs.
You just aren't what she needs anymore, Joy.
Well, you too!
Joy and the other emotions are locked up inside the vault, becoming suppressed emotions.
Oh, the irony.
But thankfully they're able to get help from Riley's secrets to escape the vault. Also, side note, I love the fact they incorporate different animation styles for each character. But as they escape, the OG emotions realize they can't go back to headquarters without Riley's sense of self, so they make their way to the back of her mind to go get it, leaving the new emotions to build their new Riley, as Riley herself builds her relationship with Val.
Early mornings make me so hungry.
I know, right? I'd give anything for a piece of pizza right now.
Yes!
You know, if Disney didn't want there to be any romantic tension between these two, they failed miserably.
She was totally giving you the fuck me eyes.
Meanwhile, the OG emotions manage to send Sadness back to HQ, and we actually get a cute little scene with Joy and Sadness to see how far their friendship has come since the first movie. Honestly, their relationship was one of my favorites. After seeing how hard Joy was trying to prevent Sadness, she now trusts her with the most important role in this mission.
Sadness, you are strong. You got this.
If I didn't know Sadness's favorite color was pink, I would have used that TED joke here. Riley gets ready to hang out with Val and the other members of the high school hockey team, while the new emotion continues to make me wonder how cringe is not an emotion Riley has yet.
Just pretend we get the joke.
It sounds like this is how relatable this movie is. Thankfully, during this cringe fest, Sadness does manage to stay hidden, with the help of a certain bubblegum boy. But Joy and the others come across yet another dead end, leading to the other emotions to get into her face, and Joy to finally reach her breaking point. Which, you know what? Fair. Throughout this entire movie, the other emotions have been kind of a pain in the ass, as they've done nothing but whine, and Joy's breakdown feels more than justified.
You know how hard it is to stay positive all the time when all you folks do is complain, complain, complain.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord.
The other emotions make up with Joy, reigniting their determination to save Riley. And at first, I was surprised out of all of them, Anger was the one to reach out to Joy. But then I thought about it, and it does make sense, since he was basically the pseudo-leader when Joy wasn't around in the first movie. So he understands the kind of pressure she's under to keep them going. So I guess it more or less comes full circle. The OG emotions decide to take a shortcut through Imagination Land, where they discover Anxiety's animation sweatshop, which I'm honestly surprised the animators themselves managed to get away with. I mean, look at this place. It's literally an animation studio being depicted as a place run by Anxiety. Should we just take this as a subtle cry for help?
Joy, I know you're in there.
Yeah, this is definitely a cry for help. After Joy manages to start an animator's revolt,
Down with imprisonment! Definitely down!
Anxiety decides the best way to help Riley is to have her break into the school and steal the coach's book. Yeah, remember when I said about rationale and not always making the best decisions? Well, here you go. Yeah, let's just break into private property to read a damn book. It's totally worth getting blacklisted from the team forever. The coach is determined she's not ready yet, and she manages to get away scot-free. Aside from some seriously questionable choices, there's no other harm done.
I'm not good enough.
Terrible job, Super Shit. You fucked that one up that badly.
Joy and the others manage to make their way to the back of the mine. Unfortunately, it's too late as Riley's old sense of self fades, and Anxiety destroys the only two back, leaving the OG emotions stranded and Joy feeling hopeless.
I don't know how to stop anxiety.
Neither do I, Joy. Neither do I.
Maybe we can't. Maybe this is what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy.
Back in HQ, Riley's playing an intense game, much to the dismay of her teammates and the pain of her old friends. This causes Riley to receive a penalty and Anxiety to lose control, resulting in Riley having a literal anxiety attack. Meanwhile, Joy and the others manage to make their way back by using an avalanche of suppressed memories, and seeing the chaos unfold for themselves. Back in the real world, Bree and Grace see Riley in distress and reach out to her, while simultaneously, Joy reaches out to Anxiety as she finally manages to get through to her.
Anxiety? You need to let her go.
Joy and anxiety both realize what the true purpose of the sense of self is, that neither of them gets to decide who Riley gets to be. Because just like Riley, we have to choose who we want to be, not just through our emotions, but by the actions that we choose to take, both good and bad, through our success and through our failures. It's all a part of us. So by incorporating both good and bad memories, the emotions are able to finally settle Riley's anxiety attack, as Riley is able to make up with Bree and Grace.
I'm so sorry. If you don't want to be friends anymore, I get it.
I mean, you nearly gave me a concussion, but I guess we're cool. Finally, in one of the best scenes in the movie, for the first time, Riley decides how she wants to feel, calling for joy as she gets ready to play the best game that she can, accepting the future that's ahead of her as her emotions finally accept each other. And that was Inside Out 2. Honestly, what can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? It's honestly just as amazing as the first movie. While I will admit, I wish they could have done more mind concepts like exploring the id, especially since they're going to the back of the mind. But other than that, I loved every part of this movie. From the new characters, to the old ones, to the setup for future installments. There is one downside to this movie being such a success, and that's that it gave Disney the green light to lean on more sequels. And that honestly gives me nothing but anxiety. But thankfully, I still have this sequel to fill me with plenty of joy. Thank you all so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up and a like, it really helps me out guys. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Until then, this is Shibi Blue, bowing out.